Hi, everybody. I'm here today with my friend, the beautiful, brilliant Melissa Pitotti, the CEO of Facilitating the Future. And Melissa and I were just talking about some really interesting ideas she has about how we could be using language AI to support people who speak low resource languages and be more accountable. Hey, Melissa, welcome. So great to see you.
Thank you, Amy. It's so nice to be here.
So tell me, what do you think is interesting?
I think right now the humanitarian sector is at a critical point. I call it the twin disruptions.
Yeah.
We see a collapse of the multilateral cooperation system as we knew it, and we see the rise of artificial intelligence.
Right.
And a lot of people that are in the humanitarian sector aren't really sure yet what to do.
Right.
And what I like to do in times like these is say, where are things working and how can we do more of that?
Right. Okay.
Because we don't have as many resources we used to have, but we do have opportunities, for example, with language AI.
Right. So what do you think what do you think the opportunity is with language AI?
Something we've always been struggling with is how to plan, deliver, and improve on our programs.
Yeah.
And the answer has always been to do it hand in hand with the communities that are involved.
Yeah. Always, yeah.
And one of the challenges has been communication.
Yeah.
How can we communicate? And it's always been challenging to communicate in a language that the people you're serving speak in, especially languages that aren't necessarily the most prominent in the world.
Right, yeah, yeah.
And now with the rise of language AI, we see a huge opportunity to not only improve the quality of our conversations with the people we serve, but also the frequency.
Yeah.
So when we're in a context and we're serving people, they can be part of the planning process, the delivery process, and the feedback process to improve the loop.
Yeah. And you were talking earlier about a conversation you were having yesterday about when there are budget cuts, the first thing that's always cut is the communication part, right?
Yes. So we had in our event, we had a speaker from South Sudan who supports women-led organizations.
Yeah.
We had a speaker from the Democratic Republic of Congo who is also doing support there. And they were saying that from the funding they get, when they had funding cuts, the funding for listening to people, they call it listening, or you could call it engaging, or you can call it accountability. The funding created for the relational piece was the first to be cut because it's not so obvious from a distant headquarters that's an important thing. When people are saying, let's focus on life-saving, like drilling wells or distributing food, but the point is, if you miss the relationship, the conversations, it's highly possible that those life-saving things that you introduce aren't necessarily meeting the needs of that population and they're matching their priorities.
Right. Super interesting. And so if we're using a lot more language AI, what impact do you think that will have on the communities we work with?
I think, first of all, the big buzzword now is trust.
Yeah.
So we have a trust deficit. We've been building over time, and now it's shot through the roof because we've had to manage a lot of disruption and the disruption of the relationships. When you make an effort and you make time and you build in your process this opportunity for engagement, and then you deliver on the information that you've been receiving, you start to build fast trust and deep trust.
Yeah. Huh. It's a really interesting way of looking at it. Thank you so much, Melissa. That was super interesting.
Thank you, Amy, for all you do.
And that's what's interesting.